Thank you for joining us once again to replicate another frozen food recipe. If this noob can do it, then you can too. We set the bar pretty low on this show. This is Thawed Out. Marie Callender's. I love their pot pies. We'll tackle that another day. But I'm gonna be honest, the rest of their stuff is kind of just mid. And their Swedish meatballs are no different. Once again, this is a dish with several interpretations from different brands. But to spread the love,
or hate,
we are going to stick with sweet old Marie today. Without further ado, let's see what we're dealing with. Immediately, the first thing that comes to my mind is that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, only 6 balls, and they're all pretty small. The gravy looks fine, but it doesn't look too special. I don't have a lot of hopes for it, but what I am seeing is actually black flakes of seasoning in this, which is giving me a little bit of hope. We'll see. Let's try it out. Why is the meatball chewy? What even is this gravy? They hyped up the seasoning for nothing. It literally tastes like nothing. There's no doubt in my mind that we can thaw this recipe out. Let's do it. You know we have to do this. You know we have to make these meatballs IKEA style. No ifs, ands, or buts.
English burger, Swedish meatball.
We'll need about 1.5 pounds of ground meat. So about 1 pound of ground beef and half a pound of ground pork. A hand mixer, a spatula, please. I like to handle my meat with
my hands.
We'll need 1 white or yellow onion. I'm using a food processor this time to get it extra fine for our meatballs. Then just dump it on in with the meat when you're done. Then throw in about a tablespoon of minced garlic. I'm still not apologizing for this. Next, throw in half a cup of panko breadcrumbs, a 1/4 cup of milk, 1 egg, and season with salt, pepper, and a dash of allspice. Once you mix all that up, again with my hands, form your meat into balls and place them on a baking sheet. I'm using a silicone mat, but tin foil and spray will also do. I also realize I made these balls way too big, but hey.
I'm not complaining.
All that's left is to stick them in a 425-degree oven for about 15 to 20 minutes. Ooh, they just look so Swedish. I got nothing. For our famously brown meatball gravy sauce, we'll start by making a roux. This should feel very familiar from my buffalo mac and cheese recipe, link in the description. Melt 3 tablespoons of butter, then mix in an equal amount of flour and stir it together until it looks like this. Yes, it's looking a little sad, but don't worry. It's about to get wet. Mix in about 2 cups of hot beef broth. Next, mix in about half a cup of heavy whipping cream and about a tablespoon of soy sauce. After you stir it, you have to let it sit for a few minutes before it gets truly thick. Finally, we'll give it one more good stir, season with salt and pepper, and that, my Swedes, is what you call an IKEA gravy sauce. Now all that's left is to make our egg noodles and mix it in with our gravy, but not all of the gravy. We are saving that for a very special pouring. For assembly, form a bed of egg noodles on your plate. Delicately place your balls on top, and just take that gravy and let it coat the whole thing and elevate the whole dish to an 11 instantly. Wow, this really makes me want to buy some furniture. Look at how tiny these little meatballs are compared to
My big ball.
Also, just do I need to explain more? To remind myself. Okay, I'm excited for this. Man, can I get a furdy birdie bork up in here? Just immediately. The fact that there is just salt present at all automatically rules this as the best. But now, the ball. Man, those Swedes are onto something. This is fantastic. They're not better because they're bigger. They're just better because they're just made better. They're made exactly how IKEA makes it. I'm sorry, little old Grandma Marie, but you lose. Sorry. Now, one thing to bring up. I know in these troubled times, a lot of people go to frozen foods because they cannot afford the increasingly expensive ingredients to buy such things. Well, I want to prove to you that this is just as affordable to make. Am I ripping off Joshua Wiseman? Yeah, the Marie Callender's meal costs this much. My meal per serving costs this much. So, the next time you're like, well, I can't afford to make it, look how much more food this is here versus this here. And then just picture that they're both one serving. Do the math, use logic. This is just straight up the right answer. Thank you once again for watching me thaw out this recipe. If you enjoyed this and you were convinced to make this yourself, subscribe and leave a like today for more Thawed Out. Yeah, I'm eating this whole thing later, definitely.